My name is Samantha, and our group project is titled This Day in History. This project was done by Odessa Cassette, Krista Mason, and myself. This Day in History is a reflection on what has happened in our country and countries around the world so that we can learn from mistakes and see greatnesses of the past so that we can hope to have the drive and desire to achieve greatness for the people of our future, just like the people of our past presented for us. For a little creativity, we decided to do each person's birthday would be the dates that we used for dates in history. That way it got a little more personal and had a little more of a connection to the presentation rather than just picking random dates in history. Aristotle said, "If you would understand anything, observe its beginning," and this is certainly true, because to know where something ended up, you have to know where it came from, and to see where it's going, you have to know where it's been. Odessa was born on April 4th, and on April 4th, 1968, as I'm sure many of us know, Martin Luther King Jr. was tragically assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. This is a date I'm sure a lot of us and a lot of our parents or relatives can know what they were doing and where they were when Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. And even though he left in such a tragic manner, he did so many great things for this country in the 60s and set a path for the future that one can only aspire to be as great as he was in his time. Some other things that happened on April 4th were on April 4th, 1841, President William Henry Harrison died after only 1 month in office. In 1949, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, otherwise known as NATO, was established, and in 1960, Ben-Hur won 11 Academy Awards. For this project, we also decided, just for a little bit of fun, to throw in a famous celebrity that was born on our birthday. And for Odessa, this person was Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou was born April 4th, 1928, and she is a renowned poet and civil rights activist. Krista was born on March 11th, and on March 11th, 1993, Janet Reno was confirmed as the first female Attorney General of the United States. This is a great step for female politicians as well as just American females in general to know that nothing is impossible no matter what business type you're in, no matter what kind of goal you have, whether it's politics or music or anything else that may be male dominated or females just may not be taken as seriously. This is a great push to know that females can do anything that males can do. Also on March 11th, 1983, Pakistan successfully conducted a cold test of a nuclear weapon. On March 11th, 2004, there were the Madrid train bombings, and on March 11th, 2009, there was a school shooting in Germany. Now, while this may have happened in another country besides our own, I'm sure we can all sympathize and empathize as we sadly know the devastation that school shootings can cause and the tragedies that they really are. The famous person born on March 11th was Lawrence Welk. He was born on March 11th, 1903, and he is an American musician, accordionist, and band leader. Cassette was born on July 19th, and on July 19th, 1975, Gerthy David, also known as the Black Goddess, was the runner-up at the 24th Miss Universe pageant. This was a great day for African Americans, as coming shortly after the tragedies of the 60s of segregation and everything else that happened, the tragedies that happened in the 1960s, to have an African American runner-up in a pageant, and not just any pageant, but the Miss Universe pageant, is a great day in history. Also on July 19th, 1799, the Rosetta Stone was found. July 19th, 1975, the Apollo-Soyuz separated after being in orbit for only 2 days. And on July 19th, 1989, General Jaruzelski was appointed President of Poland. For her celebrity, Cosette decided on Samuel Colt. whom many people may not know just by hearing his name, but I'm sure many people know what he is famous for inventing, which was the Colt 45 revolver handgun. My birthday is September 24th, and I learned through research in this project that on September 24th, 1789, the first U.S. Supreme Court was formed, and this made me very excited to find that something so amazing and so important to the impact of our country and where our country started and where it came from happened on my birthday. It was very humbling and amazing to learn. Also on September 24th, 1657, the first autopsy and coroner's jury verdict was recorded in the state of Maryland, which also happens to be my state of residence. In September 24th, 1941, the Japanese consul sent people to Pearl Harbor to gather information which would eventually be used in the attacks on December 7th, 1941 to Pearl Harbor, which, as we all know and was stated way back then and still has remained a date that has lived in infamy. The celebrity born on my birthday was F. Scott Fitzgerald, or I guess rather I was born on his birthday. He is the American author of The Great Gatsby, which happens to be one of my favorite books, and he was born September 24th, 1896. F. Scott Fitzgerald, I learned, was also buried not far from where I live in Rockville, Maryland, and he is the cousin of Francis Scott Key, who famously wrote the lyrics for the Star Spangled Banner, which, as everybody knows, is now our national anthem. Mason was born on December 26th, and on December 26, 1966, Jimi Hendrix wrote the lyrics for his song Purple Haze. Regardless of what may have happened in Jimi's life or how he may have left this earth, he is a great role model for what can happen if you really put your mind to it and strive to achieve your goals, because nearly 50 years later, he is still known as one of the best, if not the best, guitarist this country has ever seen. And that's a pretty amazing title to still have 50 years later, and it's a great thing for kids to see what can happen if you practice and really put your mind to what you want to do and what you want to be. Also on December 26, 1944, Patton relieved Belgium during the Battle of the Bulge. On December 26, 1966, the first Kwanzaa was celebrated, and on December 26, 1972, former President Harry S. Truman died. Alex Schweizer is a famous person that was born on Mason's birthday, and not only was it Mason's birthday, but the exact year as well. He was born on December 26, 1984, and he is the winner of the Beijing Olympic gold medal in the 50-kilometer race. He, just like Jimi Hendrix, is a great role model for kids, regardless of the country that he played for in the Olympics. He's a great role model to kids and aspiring athletes to what can happen with perseverance and how you can achieve your goals if you really put your mind to it and strive to do something, that anything is possible and anything can happen. We learned a lot during this project, and as I stated with my birthday, it was humbling and amazing to learn that something so great in American history, like the first Supreme Court being formed, happened on what would later become my birthday. It really gives me a sense of pride and patriotism and makes me feel a little bit closer to the founding fathers of this country. This has been This Day in History, and it was done by Odessa, Cosette, Krista, Mason, and myself.